Well, there really seems to be light at the end of the tunnel. After a very difficult year cooped up at home, the world is slowly opening up and we are finally able to go out. And to go places, we can rely on the all-new 2021 Sienna, an all-hybrid with all-new styling. The good news is, our favorite minivan is now a sleek hybrid and available with a sport-tuned suspension, so we can enjoy both a dynamic drive and amazing fuel efficiency. We know that this pandemic literally stopped the world in its tracks. But our life went on, right? And even in quarantine, my children grew up. Leo is now 2 years old and has started preschool. And my 5-year-old Lily also now has swimming lessons, singing, and even soccer practice and games. Imagine all the driving, but that's not a problem with the all-new 2021 Sienna, a hybrid with a class-leading EPA estimated 36 combined MPG and has an incredible 648-mile driving range. And when it comes to comfort, Sienna's available super long slide seats and captain's chairs with built-in ottomans has it covered. And let's not forget Sienna's available hands-free dual power sliding doors, which definitely make life easier, especially for mom and dads. The all-new 2021 Sienna has got everything I need to help me conquer my busy mompreneur life. And while everyone is wondering if this new year will give us a better normal, I know for sure that this new Sienna will give me an easier normal. Hi guys, welcome to So Janelle. I'm your host Janelle. So how are you all doing this afternoon on the show? We are hoping to contribute to make your afternoon a little bit cooler by giving you some so cool stories that we have featured on the show previously, where you can also get maybe some inspiration and some encouragement and even some laughter. Starting with this one featuring Helabasa, which is a highly followed or largely followed account on Instagram where you can get funny Filipino posts or Filipino American posts as well. Not too long ago, we talked to its founder, RJ, and here he is talking about Helabasa.
I would use my page as I post daily funny Filipino videos, content, pictures, any videos is the most engaging, also is the most relatable account for Filipinos for sure.
RJ, first of all, congratulations. My gosh, your Instagram account, Helabasa, has been voted #1 funniest Filipino account on Instagram. When did you start this?
So I started Halabasa in 2016 when all meme accounts were barely starting. So I was actually the first Filipino meme account on Instagram. Halabasa started when I was living in Bay Area. So we say the word hala on a daily when you're living in Bay Area. So and the word basa means actually nice. It actually means, it translates to wet, but in Bay Area it's a slang word for nice. So for example, oh, your shoes are hella wet. That means your shoes are hella nice.
What made you get into this?
I want the Filipinos that are growing up, in United States, to know the culture also. Picking up things on the floor with their feet, pointing with your lips. Those are like Filipino culture that we don't even know, like other Filipino families do. So when I post something about that and people start commenting like, oh, I thought my family's the only one. For me, that's like, yes, now we're all connected. We're all Filipinos. Like just sitting and putting one of your leg up like this.
I do that too. When you started in 2016, did you know that it was going to be this big?
No, I did not. I didn't know I'm gonna have my own clothes. I didn't know I'm gonna be interviewed by you, So Janelle. So my goal by the end of this interview is to have So Janelle change her name to Hella Janelle. So no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So my main followers are actually from United States, and they're mostly from 14-year-olds to 22. When it blows up, everyone's in schools like talking about it, and everybody's doing challenges. So I started doing challenges on Instagram to have more engagement.
So what rules do you have?
Be funny, Filipino related, and even though if it's serious, for example, when Lola Susano died, like oldest person in the world, like it's not funny, but it's something that we should be proud of and we should show sympathy of. So.
Not only are you able to provide laughs to your followers, you're also able to mobilize people in case there are like efforts to gather community, to help Filipinos. That's a good thing, using your platform to create good as well, right?
Yes, having this platform for sure helped me to help others. For example, like last year when I found out that there were people sleeping on rooftops, people were dying, it was a low-brainer for me that I should use my platform for that. To be honest, I lost 2,000 followers because of that. Because people, you know, it's obvious like, oh, this is supposed to be a funny account. Why are you posting something serious? But at the same time, I'm like, oh, this is what I'm about. This is what I'm about, like helping, like upbringing our culture, helping the people in need, people in the Philippines. So I'm gonna use whatever I can. I don't care about how much followers I have. If I lose followers, gain followers, I don't. The main point is, what am I? What's the purpose of this account? People call me Halabasa, but the way I see it, it's not me. It's everyone. It's a community. That's how I see it. Yeah, I don't see. Oh, you're Halabasa. Like, no, it's us. We're all in this.
Alam mo, pinag-uusapan natin mga hackers, naku, napakagaling yan na mahanap yung mga financial data natin or personal data natin. So, especially now that most of the time we deal online. Kung nag-victimize ka, unang-una mong gagawin, magpadala ka ng kagad ng red flag sa isa sa mga credit bureaus para magkaroon sila ng fraud alert. Tatawagan ko yung Office of the Inspector General. Tawagan mo din ang IRS para na-alert din sila. Mga passwords natin nung high school, ay panahon na yan para palitan. Minsan may mga maliliit na bagay, $30, $50, hindi mo na yung pinapansin Malalaman mo that actually yung mga scammers na yan, maliliit muna nag-uumpisa yan. Kung sa tingin mo na-compromise yung isang card mo, mag-request ka na ng bago. Pero hindi lang bago. Na card, kailangan palitan yung account number. Kung debit card yan, baguhin mo yung PIN mo at yung password mo rin.
Thank you so much for sharing your time with us here on So Janelle. So Janelle is a weekly Filipino-American TV show that airs over at TFC. If you're watching us on TFC, hello to all of you. It must be a Sunday. If you're watching us on ANC, hello to you as well. It must be a Saturday. And if you're watching us on KNET, we are now on KNET 25.1, which is a free digital channel in Southern California. So we are always on social media, information on the screen. In fact, we have longer, fuller versions of the segments that we air on TV. We post them on YouTube, youtube.com/SoJanelleTV. Please subscribe to our channel and please share us with your friends and family. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/SoJanelleTV, and we invite you to join us there because we are actually planning on doing Facebook Live shows regularly. So make sure you catch us there, as well as giveaways that we want to tell you guys about, and that is on Instagram, instagram.com/SoJanelleTV. So catch us on social media. Back here on the show, we are looking back on some of the most inspiring, most cool, or the coolest stories that we featured on the show not too long ago. We also sat down with the youngest owner of a studio in Hollywood, and he is Filipino, and he traces his journey to us. If you will remember Trese, which was launched by Netflix last year, he is the executive producer of that, and this is Jay Oliva.
If you ask the 19-year-old me when I was in that job festival saying, hey, by the way, in 26 years from now, you're going to have your own studio and you'll be working with Zack Snyder and Ben Affleck and all these other people, I would just be like, you're crazy. But like, here I am, this Filipino kid who just taught myself how to draw, and now I own an animation studio. Right. I also realized, wait, I think I'm the only Filipino who owns a studio and let alone Hollywood, right? I mean, my career led me to this moment, to this show, to this particular thing, to start my own studio and to work on this title. So that when I was given this particular source material, I can jump into it and try to do the best that I can that I've been preparing myself all my life for it.
Jay Oliva, I am so honored. First of all, congratulations on Trese.
Thank you, thank you.
For those who have not heard of Trese, if they are Filipino, they must be living under a rock because everyone's talking about Trese. What is it?
So Trese is a comic book that was, I believe, originally published in 2005 or 2006 in the Philippines by Budjette Tan and Kadjo Baldissimo. And it originally started as just them photocopying the pages. They were telling me that they sold that first comic book for 30 pesos. Fast forward a couple of years, they were able to get it published as a graphic novel. And then in 2018, that's when Netflix, John Derderian at Netflix Anime, saw it and thought, you know what? The Philippines is a growing market. Let's try to do this, and that's when they gave me a call. It's based on a Filipino comic book, and the first thing I thought of was, am I getting this because I'm Filipino?
Were you? Did you ask?
No, I was thinking it, but I just thought that sounds cool, right? And so because I never get a job because I'm Filipino, it didn't occur to me until a few months after we started production that this was going to be something that's going to be to Filipino audiences worldwide, right? And this was a first thing, right? A first animated that's going to be on a big service like Netflix, and that I need to really do well on this, or else the Philippines are just, I won't be able to show my face in the Philippines. I've worked at Warner Brothers, Disney, and all the big studios, so when I started my own studio, it wasn't until a couple of months into the production when I was, we were union. I made sure that everybody had a good rate and schedule. I'm in charge of everything, and I realized that I was in a position to change the industry from the inside, right? Because the big studios are never going to change. And then I also realized, wait, I think I'm the only Filipino who owns a studio and let alone Hollywood, right? I mean. And that's when I realized, oh wow, that's some big shoes to fill. Right? Yeah, it's a big deal. Right?
But you almost didn't go this route. Now we're going to the Jay Oliva story.
Like most Asian families, right? My parents are like, don't go into art. There's no money in art. Be a doctor. So growing up, I never really had anybody to play with. So what I would do is I would just draw. And I'm one of those self-taught artists, so I never had art school. Yeah, no training. So what I did was I would trace things in a book, and then I would teach myself how to draw. I never really wanted to be an animator, right? Because to me, that's the most boring job. But that's something that's not really what I really like to do. But in my line of work, though, I need to draw to convey the ideas to the clients, and so I have to be at a certain level. But what I try to excel at is like, how do I tell that story? Start as a revisionist, which is basically, you're not even a storyboard artist, you're just doing fixes.
Yeah, so it's bottom level.
Bottom level. When I looked at storyboards or when I watched films, I was like a sponge. I just could not stop learning. So I started storyboarding a couple months after that. So my director gave me a shot. So I first started storyboarding on Spider-Man. And then when that production finished, I went to Sony as a storyboard artist. So, and then when I was at Sony, that's when I became a director. I was a director by the time I was 21. So it was about 2 years later. And then fast forward, I own a studio.
But you started at 19. By 21, you were directing. My gosh, that's awesome. What lesson do you want people to draw from your story?
So I still teach. It doesn't pay anything. Like, teachers don't get paid anything. But the thing is that I do it because I think to myself, if I don't teach this class, what if the person taking the class, I can change their life? Because even if there's one person's life that I've changed, right, it's worth it. Bill Riling took a chance with me. I have my test still, and it's not very good. I wouldn't hire myself, right? But he saw something in me way back when, and he took a chance. And now, as I'm in this position, I try to give back and do the same thing. I've been blessed with this great opportunity that, I gotta keep kind of giving forward.
We're meeting some cool Pinoys and Filipino Americans here on So Janelle as we bring back some of the previous interviews and segments that we've aired on the show. Again, talking to you guys and encouraging you to please follow us on social media. where we want to get social with you. Right about now, we want to introduce you to a Filipino writer best known for his writing on also Trese, which is a comic series that was adapted into a series by Netflix. Earlier, you met Jay Oliva, who was the executive producer of that series. Here he is now, the writer behind Trese, Budjette Tan.
I had that big dream of wanting to do a comic book. And it was really driven by being inspired by wanting to do our own Batman comic book, our own X-Files story, but to set it in the Philippines. And it was greatly inspired by growing up with a father who told me, may aswang sa labas ng bintana. Go to sleep, the aswang will eat you.
Budjette Tan joining us all the way from Denmark. I guess the first question is, why budget?
It is your typical combination of names, because my dad's name is Buddy and my mom's name is Adjet. So on the day I was born, my dad said his name will be Budget.
And your name is now being tossed around. It is now being a household name, especially for anime fans because of Trese. Congratulations. It is such a big hit. #1 in 19 countries on Netflix.
I think what I was just hoping for was sana mag #1 sa Pilipinas. But yeah, it's great to know that other people around the world have started to find it interesting enough to watch it and share it. The official announcement made by Netflix was, I think, November 2018. It felt like a weird combination of being in a dream and experiencing deja vu, because suddenly the words that I wrote, the images that Kadjo drew, were suddenly in front of me. And I just had to remind myself, oh, wait, we made this. You know, right down to hearing Shay Mitchell and Liza Soberano say those lines.
Boys, time to go hunting. Tahan na. Ligtas ka na.
You know, that's the voice in my head. It was very dreamlike to see our creation suddenly talking back to us.
So why do you think has this story connected with so many all over the world, Filipinos and non-Filipinos?
We have a great fascination for the unknown, I think, is the starting point, right? And now it's something they've never heard before, right? To the foreign audience. To the Pinoys, it's like, oh, I know that. You know, I know what they're talking about. The person who knows someone that actually met a tikbalang or, you know, or an aswang, right? And suddenly they can point to it and say, watch this. This is what I was telling you about. The structure of Trese, it's a police procedural. To people who love crime drama and mysteries, then there's that appeal as well. And I think lastly, one of the things that Tanya Yuson and Jay Oliva did was, at the heart of it, it's about family. It's about a Pinoy family. It's about a daughter trying to live up to her father's expectations. So I think that's a story that's near and dear to Pinoys everywhere.
It wasn't an overnight success, Budjette. And I want you now to talk to the viewers out there who probably have a dream. It's very difficult to get noticed, to get the support to be published. But what would be your advice to them?
Focus on starting the work and then focus on getting it finished and not get caught up thinking that, wait, I need to revise this because it needs to be perfect, because it never will be. With Kadjo, we didn't think of what would happen next. The only thing we focused on was, let's tell a story and let's get it done. Will this sell or not? We don't know. Will this become a hit or not? We don't care. We just wanted to do something that no one else could do, to tell a story that no one else was telling. Now people are coming to us and like saying, tell us more.
Guys, reminding you all, there's a deal for every morning at McDonald's and breakfast that will have you guys jumping out of bed. Now get 2 sausage McGriddles or 2 chicken McGriddles for just $3.50, Or you can mix and match, savor the sausage McGriddles with its sweet maple taste of the griddle cakes, or take a big bite of the chicken McGriddles with its delightfully crispy chicken fillet. This 2 for $3.50 deal will be the fastest and yummiest way to start the day. Prices and participation may vary. This is available only in Southern California, so make sure you catch it. We will be back with more. Don't go away. Luis de Guzman,
Yes.
considered to be the hottest Filipino artist right now in America. Has it sunk in yet?
It hasn't sunk in because I don't consider myself the hottest young Asian American Filipino artist in America. There's so many greats that have been paving the way for the longest time, and I'm just happy to be part of the conversation. Very honored, humbled, and just happy to be here.
Born and raised in Chicago to Filipino parents.
Yes.
Tell us about your art.
I've always been just drawn to visuals and, my mom, really big on arts and crafts. As I was growing up, she took me to a lot of the craft shows because no one would babysit me. And so she'd, to pass the time, I'd help her with her crafts or I'd help her sell stuff at her booth. And her being literally the only Filipino woman in a room full of Caucasian, other descent women, it was cool to see that and not really know that just yet what my heritage was. But all I knew is that we look different, but we're still speaking the same language,
Right. Art is mostly an expression, right?
Absolutely.
When you found it, what did you want to express first? Do you recall those expressions, the messages?
A lot of the expression comes from my excitement, how I feel when I'm creating something. It really relies on just natural feeling and emotion. I get excited about things because I know that this is the thing that I'm meant to be doing. And when I create, it feels good knowing that whatever I'm making can hopefully give that same energy off to people by just looking at something. And that's something that I've learned that has become a thing recently because I've had people message me or email me and just be like, hey, your work makes me happy. It gets me excited. It gets me motivated.
Right.
So for me to be able to do that, I think the job is done.
I love that you're also born to Filipino parents,
Yeah.
born and raised in Chicago, with being Filipino.
Yeah.
How much of that Filipino-ness comes out in your art?
I would say, as Filipinos doing things in the art field, dance, music, expression, it's exciting, that's where my Filipino-ness comes from. I think the pride. Filipinos have a lot of pride.
Right.
And just hearing the stories of how my parents, my aunts, uncles who have come here have lived before and seeing how we're living now, it's a pride thing. I always say that I do this for my family because I really do. I do this for everything they worked hard and dreamed of having. They didn't have this kind of life that they gave us here. So no time to waste, just having fun and doing what we love.
But when you mention your Filipino parents, I know that you probably already know too that you're quite lucky that you've had the support of your parents.
Yes.
Actually, I'm assuming. Tell me about that.
I'm never gonna forget this conversation. I remember talking to my father and he says, do what you love. He told me this, I think I was in 3rd or 4th grade. It's because growing up when he was my age, he wanted to be a musician. Mm-hmm. Even younger than that, he was in a band in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. And he always said do what you love, it's a thing. He said that. My mom's always been the same way. They never questioned my direction in life as long as I was being a good kid, responsible. It was more so hey, keep a straight head on your shoulder, do what you love, and as long as you do it with pure, genuine heart and soul, they've always been excited about it. Mm-hmm. Looking like us and speaking like us, but being able to do things that are not normal and very just humbling and all these blessings. It's been crazy.
Do they know that you are the hottest right now?
They don't tell me that, but I think they understand where I'm going with my work.
Right.
My mom would love to just obsess over. She doesn't have Instagram. She'll Google search my Instagram.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, how can you tell us about this? I just had to find it.
I would say it's now misconception because I've interviewed so many artists that are doing well because they did not give up, right?
Yeah, it's
but there are others also who fail to make it or who just keep trying but still haven't been given the break.
Yep.
What would you say to those?
Don't give up. You gotta keep going. Keep going. Literally keep going. It's a thing where we have been, you know, I'm thankful to have a team who's helped me push this far and is supporting myself, but meanwhile also me supporting them. It's been a whole thing, and I think supporting artists and like moving forward as far as just like not giving up is important.
Right.
I didn't give up.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong pagtangkilik sa Sojanel. Sana po yung mga kwento na ibinabahagi namin sa inyo ay kinapupulutan nyo ng aral at inspirasyon. Of course, we are always here, as I've always been saying, my team and myself, we're here to gather and share accurate news and information, tell culturally relevant stories, and share tips as well on how not just to live, but also, or not just to survive, but also to thrive here in the US. And so thank you so much for always watching us and for always being with us. Of course, another reminder, nakukulitan na siguro kayo sa akin, but please catch us on social media. We are on YouTube, youtube.com/sojaneltv. In fact, sikat na sikat pa rin po dyan. Parami pa rin ang nanonood nung ating interview sa nanay ni Jokoy. You might want to catch that as well if you missed that a few years ago. Also, on Facebook, we are on Facebook, facebook.com/sojaneltv, and we are also on Instagram, so instagram.com/sojaneltv. And of course, on TV, next week, same time, same channel. I'm your host, Janelle So, and this has been Sojanel.